Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be talking you guys through my modifications on the bike. This will basically be all visual modifications, power modifications, and where I've got everything from basically. And yeah, so I hope you guys stay tuned and enjoy the video. So if we start from one of the main points on the bike, pretty sure everyone knows about my carbon and how much I love my carbon. So I would say the bike is pretty decked out when it comes to the carbon. Got it literally from front to back, frame covers, swing arm covers, airbox, and yeah, so I got all of this carbon from a company called RPM, and I believe they're based in Thailand. I might have that wrong, but yeah, under tray, the lot. So I've got a matching tank pad, which that's just from eBay, I believe, and sticker cover on the fork protector, I believe, or yoke mount, can't remember the name. We've got a Puig windscreen, and then we've got some mirror blanks. I believe I bought them from AliExpress, believe it or not. They're actually alright fitment. They're not the best, but they just match the bike and the look that I'm going for with the all black. I didn't really want any logos or anything. And that brings me next to the bolts. So these are actually a titanium bolt set that you can get for the bike, and I can't remember exactly what company it was. I think it might have been Pro Bolt, but this is the titanium ones, and they were very eye-wateringly expensive. Definitely would not recommend you doing it, but the plus side of these, I mean, they don't rust, they look good, they hold their colour well. Only issues I would say I have had is some of them have lost a little bit of colour over years, but don't forget these are 3 years old, these bolts. I had a custom seat made. This has got padding and I think memory foam. I had a matching rear seat, which I've done a delete on because I've gone full race bike on the bike. With that I've deleted the pegs, obviously mirrors as well. Full race bike setup pretty much for the road. Whether it's practical for the road or not, that's a different story. Having to constantly look over your shoulder behind you, people, police, does get a bit long-winded, I can't lie, but obviously it's just the whole race bike look. We've got Domino's grips, which they are very comfortable, very grippy, I'll give them that, but you do feel a lot more vibration than standard. So yeah, there is those downsides. And then brings me to the levers, which I went for the ASV shorty levers. That's just a personal preference. I've always just much preferred how the shorty levers feel personally, as opposed to the longer ones. I'm not really a wheelie type of guy yet, or will be. So I know the longer levers help for, especially the clutch, I believe, when you're doing wheelies, to actually clutch up with a longer lever. So, and then that brings me to the trusty old quad lock with wireless charger. Now, if you're a biker who tends to go on longer rides like myself, will know that obviously carrying a portable charger like I used to all the time was not really viable, and it's very long-winded, takes a lot of storage up if you only have a little bag. This is good. This is a good alternative. So this has got a setting on it where if it automatically goes too low, where it will drain your battery, it will automatically turn off, which I think that's a really good feature that they've done. And I don't think they're too pricey. It was a very easy installation. I'm obviously an electrician, so it wasn't too bad for me to wire up, but I think anybody with any sort of common sense will know how to wire that up, to be fair. Tank grips, I believe these are Stomp grips from USA. Again, these are from eBay. But yeah, definitely a must on these bikes. especially when you're cornering. I never realised until I got these how much they actually make a difference. Just where you've got like such a clear tank and you're going around the corners and stuff, you just want to slide off. With these, I think they're really comfortable as well. They are hard, but I think it's one of those you get used to them over time. Some people like them, some people don't. You can get different ones, but I personally like the look of these ones. I know a few other guys on Instagram who run the same ones, so haven't had no complaints. I nearly almost forgot, I have got Gillies bar ends. Again, I'm all about the fully blacked out aesthetic of the bike, so the standard ones I believe are silver, so it's just a nice little touch just to do those. On the tank I have swapped this out again just for colour preference to match the bike. A quick release fuel tank, just makes the blacked out look a little bit stealthier, because again, standard one silver, so it didn't go with what I was going for. Going back to the back of the bike, I got a seat cowl. I deleted the rear seat, so this is just one off AliExpress as well, believe it or not. Cheap £15 one, already come painted, goes with the bike, lovely. Real ones are about £180, so before I basically decided on what colour, I was like, let me just get the cheap one first, and it's been good, touch wood, no issues. Looks just as good as the one from Yamaha, no complaints with that. And then I've got the halo light that everybody runs on the R1. Lovely piece of kit for the bike, looks very aggressive, and it comes like tinted basically, so again matches the bike massively. And you guys can probably already see running a flip and dip as well for the R1. And for legal purposes, this is on private land and does not get used on the road. I think that's pretty much everything visually. Brings me to obviously the exhaust, which a lot of R1 guys will run this setup. I've got the titanium link pipe, titanium end can, sounds absolutely brilliant. In my opinion, one of the best sounding exhausts. You've got some people that get the Austin Racing, which I think is really loud. Again, savagely loud, but this is as much as my ears can tolerate. And it brings me to the wheel decals. It's from a company called Cane Oxide, who done this for me. I don't think he's trading any longer, but these were really nice when they came out. They've been good. Might be changing them up soon, not sure yet. But yeah, they were a nice little touch to the bike. And then, yeah, brings me to all my engine protection and all my other protection on the bikes. Guys, you need to, if you don't have this on your bike, get it on your bike, man. It will save you hundreds, if not thousands, if you crash. If your bike ever tumbles anywhere, this will take brunt of all the damage. And it doesn't cost a lot to do, and prices are very reasonable nowadays. But yeah, I get all my engine cases from GB Racing, and then everything else through R&G. I believe Light Tech do all of that as well, so there is a lot of companies, a lot of options for you to go through. Then we come down to the chain and sprocket. I believe this is a DID black chain, black sprocket, 525. Normal, I didn't go for the 520. Just because I didn't really fancy it, to be fair. I know it adds a bit more acceleration, I believe. You lose a bit at the top end, but again, I just went for it for the looks. The carbon swing arm and entree, let's see. And then yeah, finally it brings me to the power mods. So I had this bike mapped at Seaton Tuning, and my bike is pushing, I believe, 203 to the rear wheel. Had my ride height set up as well after he'd done his magic. Completely different bike. You just feel so much more planted in the corners. Cornering just feels wicked. Definitely get your ride height set up if you can. And I think I had a, what was it, a race air filter fitted as well. I think that's the only things he's done. He's based down in Colchester, I believe, but he's literally the daddy of Yamahas. He only touches Yamahas and he knows what he's doing. I had the pops and bangs added onto it, which I probably will get off soon just because of how annoying it gets personally on a long ride. So the plans for this bike in the future, I'm basically going to be doing a little makeover soon, or a big makeover soon should I say. So stay tuned for that, and comment below what else you'd like to see in the next videos, what ideas you have or anything like that really. So guys, what I would say I've got planned for the future on this bike, what I would like to do, I want to get the Brembo upgrade, do the ABS delete. It's like a big must on these bikes. Everyone bangs on about how much better the brakes are. I mean, stock ones aren't great. Personally, I don't feel like they stop as well as they should. Everybody expresses pretty much they just feel like 2 blocks of wood inside the caliper. Yeah, there's that, and my mechanic has recommended Brembo master cylinder, so that ABS delete and the Brembo's front and rear will basically solve that problem. It's not a cheap upgrade, but it will be a good upgrade. And just, yeah, there's a few other little bits of carbon, tiny little bits I want to do. One last thing I forgot to mention as well, I would like to get rear sets. So there's a pair that Gillies do with the little carbon panel here. I really like those. I'll probably get those at some point. But other than that guys, there isn't really that much I have personally left to do or want to do with the bike, other than this big makeover that will be coming. So yeah, like I say, stay tuned for that. I'm probably going to do a build series on that, and yeah, we're going to see how it turns out. To be honest, I've got a really big vision in my head of how it will turn out, so hopefully I can deliver. That's it guys, comment, like and subscribe, and I will see you in the next one. Let me know what your favourite mod of the bike was.